5 years ago, mixtape developer Beethoven Dinosaur gave us The Artful Escape, which was less a traditional video game and more an interactive concept album dipped in neon and fired into space. It followed a young musician shedding his folk legacy to launch himself into a psychedelic intergalactic rock odyssey. You can't really fail it, and it's only a few hours long. But what it did with the conviction of an artist who has something to say and refuses to say it quietly. Its central idea, that the job of an artist isn't to give people what they want, but what they could never even imagine, is one I've always carried with me. And when I finished it, I was immediately curious what Beethoven and Dinosaur would do next. And this, Mixtape, is what they did next, and they have arguably outdone themselves. Where The Artful Escape used cosmic spectacle to explore creative self expression, Mixtape turns inward, quieter in its ambitions and more grounded in its emotional register, and in some ways, even more impactful for it. The game follows Stacey Rockford, an aspiring Hollywood music supervisor, and her two best friends on their last night together as high schoolers in 1999, the summer before Stacey leaves for New York. The framework is classic coming of age territory. Dazed and Confused, John Hughes films, the last night that feels like it should last forever. But Mixtape earns its place in that tradition rather than simply borrowing from it. The game's central conceit is elegant. Throughout the game, Stacy revisits keepsakes throughout her hometown of Blue Moon Lagoon, California, each one locking a memory from her friend group's shared history, presented as playable vignettes and soundtracked by a perfectly chosen song from her personally curated mixtape. And the soundtrack is where the game most thoroughly distinguishes itself. The song selections feel genuinely curated. Big artists from the era do appear, but not always alongside their most obvious hits. I can't remember a time I've ever felt a game's narrative connect so intrinsically to its music. The mechanics, as with The Artful Escape, are simple by design. There's no high scores, no difficulty curve, and no real way to lose. It's rather just a series of novel, interactive moments calibrated to produce a specific feeling. Simple things like hitting buttons to headbang in rhythm to a song blasting from a car radio, or a shopping cart chase sequence of gloriously irresponsible momentum. And what makes all of this land is the quality of the writing. The relationship between Stacy and her friends Slater and Cassandra has an immediate, lived in credibility, established through quick hit sarcasm, goofy non sequiturs, and the kind of comfortable nonsense that only passes between people who have known each other long enough to stop performing for one another. And here's the thing about nostalgia that Mixtape understands better than almost any game I've ever played. True nostalgia isn't just the replication of a specific place or time, it's the replication of a feeling. As I said, the game is set in 1999 in Northern California, among teenagers whose specific cultural touchstones may or may not be yours, but none of that matters, because the feelings it produces are universal. The bittersweet ache of a summer ending, the particular quality of light on a night that you know, even as you are living it, that you will spend years trying to remember. Mixtape is 2 to 3 hours long, give or take, but when it ends, you will wish you could experience it for the first time all over again. And that is the highest compliment you can pay a mixtape. Beethoven and Dinosaur has set a new standard for coming of age storytelling in video games with this one, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. Mixtape is available now on PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. And if you love coming of age stories, great music, or games that make you feel something real, do not sleep on this one. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you've played Mixtape yet, and if you have, what song hit you the hardest. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fandom Frontline for more reviews of the latest in film, TV, gaming, and all of the things that define our fandom.